Many Christians run their own businesses, some of them very successfully. But there are many common misconceptions about how these business leaders run their enterprises. People assume things about Christian business leaders that, frankly, are just not true. In today's video, we're going to be dispelling some major misconceptions about Christian-run businesses, some of which may surprise you. Myth 1. Christian businesses must not be for profit. Many people seem to believe that Christian businesses need to be non-profits and that any business that operates for profit is not a Christian business. This is probably due to the fact that profit-making is sometimes correlated with selfishness, which of course Christianity and the Bible are against. We are taught time and again that we must live for and with others, and trying to generate a profit seems to run contradictory to that. Add to that the fact that money is seen as the root of a lot of evil in the Bible, and you've got enough reason to believe that it is actually non-Christian for a business to be for profit. However, Christian businesses can be both profitable and principled. Profitability makes a business sustainable. Without profit, a business wouldn't be able to serve its employees, stakeholders, and community. Making a profit isn't contradictory to Christian values, as it is an essential part of running a business. Without profit, a business would go bankrupt, which could be more damaging to the community. Generating profits is only evil when it crosses the line and becomes selfish, which, if you think about it, has more to do with an individual person's ethics than it does with the system of profit-making itself. Myth 2. Christian business leaders must forgive any mistake done by an employee. Christians are supposed to be forgiving. They are supposed to recognize that everyone has flaws and faults, but that, in spite of those, they are all still deserving of love and second chances. This kind of thinking can make you believe, however, that Christian business leaders should just accept any wrongdoing done by an employee and immediately forgive them without any repercussions. After all, since Jesus forgave sinners, shouldn't we do the same? Shouldn't we simply forgive employees for any transgressions, as doing so would mean that we are following in Jesus' footsteps? This, actually, is not the case. Forgiveness is a central Christian value, but it does not in any way replace accountability. If an employee does something that harms their fellow co-workers or jeopardizes the company in general, they should be dealt with swiftly and appropriately. Christians aren't taught to blindly forgive. They are taught to hold people accountable. Even Jesus did this. Forgiveness only comes with repentance, and that only comes when rule breakers are given consequences for their action. Christian leaders should be compassionate but should also hold employees and even themselves accountable. Myth 3. Christian businesses avoid competition because it's unchristian. Christians are called to live in harmony with one another. They're called to support and love each other, even their enemies. So it must be assumed that any sort of competition, even in business, is distinctly unchristian. Surely, it must be frowned upon that businesses would do things to get ahead of other businesses. Businesses seem to always be gunning for other businesses in an attempt to win the market, which, if they did, would ultimately hurt the company they're competing with. However, healthy competition can actually align with Christian values as long as it's done ethically. Competition encourages innovation, improved customer experience, and better processes. It becomes unchristian only when, as previously mentioned, it borders on selfishness. When the main goal stops being self-improvement and becomes selfishness and greed, then that form of competition would be considered unchristian. But healthy competition that stems from a business desire to be better and to better serve its constituents does not only align with Christian values, but is also encouraged. Myth 4. Christian business leaders are soft and should avoid tough decisions. Christian values promote kindness and humility. They promote being empathetic and sensitive to other people's needs. However, a lot of people think this translates to Christians being soft. They think that Christians lack the backbone to make tough or unpopular business decisions because they're always trying to please the largest number of people possible. To others, Christian leaders wouldn't make or would even flat out avoid tough decisions because they don't want to hurt other people's feelings or cause anyone any pain or suffering. But while it's true that Christian values promote kindness and humility, this doesn't mean they are called to be soft or avoid making difficult decisions. Business leaders should make decisions that may be tough, as long as they cause more good than harm and are done for the good of the business and not for any unethical reasons. If an employee needs to be fired or a supplier needs to be let go, Christian business leaders must do what is necessary for the survival of the business, even if it means making a tough decision. Myth 5. Christian businesses are close-minded and don't engage with modern social issues. There's a notion that Christians are very set in their ways. They supposedly are closed-minded and don't engage with any current social issues because many social issues go against Christian values. The problem with this is that it paints Christians as uncaring towards issues that are contentious in today's society. This is especially true for business leaders. Christian business leaders might try to shy away from social issues, partly because they are seen as unchristian and partly because it might be bad for business to engage with certain issues. The reality, however, is that many Christian businesses engage with social issues, especially those related to justice, dignity, and environmental stewardship. Business leaders are encouraged to engage with social issues as they could affect the well-being of the company, its employees, and its constituents. Even Jesus himself engaged with the social issues of his time, so doing so is encouraged. Christian business leaders are called to bring positive change in ways consistent with their values. They address contemporary issues while upholding their moral foundation. Christian leaders are encouraged to act outside the box that society has placed them in. Christian business leaders especially are called to do this as their businesses are integral to the health and happiness of the general population. Jesus himself broke social norms, and it would only be right for Christian leaders to do the same. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button as it helps us reach more people. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe and be sure to click on the bell icon so you don't miss any of our next videos. Comment down below any prayer requests or problems you might be experiencing at work or in your business, or if you're looking for answers on what to do. Till next time, God bless.